To be honest, this is why I say I'm a nerd. Kung Fu movies, Bruce
Come
Lee
on.
movies,
Yeah.
matches with Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, like those guys inspired me the most, and it made me want to do martial arts, and also gave me that ambition that I always wanted. Like I'm always like striving for doing better and self-improvement, just hard work in general, and that what really got me into it. And also my parents too, because when I was young, they told me like, hey, we ain't gonna baby this kid, we just gonna make him work.
Tre'ston, you're an undefeated professional MMA fighter, creator of world-class combat training, self-proclaimed nerd on your Instagram there. Much more, dude. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dude, I like to go back with my shows, man. Like, where did you grow up? What was childhood like for you?
What my childhood was like?
Yeah. Where did you grow up, man? And what was childhood like for you?
Well, I grew up in Camp Hill, Alabama, but I went to school in Dadeville. So I was back and forth between two towns, but I also went to Auburn because we had to go there for like supplies, like school, like clothes and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
Camp Hill and Dadeville are two small towns, but Auburn and Opelika is two big towns. So we went there the most for resources and whatnot.
Gotcha. Okay. Who was it as a kid like that pushed you to be like successful in life?
Well, like I said, and to many other people, what pushed me like in MMA or just in general my ambition.
Yeah, I mean MMA and general admission. Just always curious, like if there was somebody as a child that was like, man, you can do whatever you want to do and kept pushing you.
Just watching. To be honest, this is why I say I'm a nerd. Kung Fu movies, Bruce Lee movies,
Yeah.
matches with Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, like those guys inspired me the most, and it made me want to do martial arts, and also gave me that ambition that I always wanted. Like I'm always like striving for doing better and self-improvement, just hard work in general, and that what really got me into it. And also my parents too, because when I was young, they told me like, hey, we ain't gonna baby this kid, we just gonna make him work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love same here, man. Grew up Bruce Lee, watching all the kung fu movies. I think I was a ninja for Halloween for like 15 years straight, like absolutely, dude. Like I was looking at Tapology, and if it's correct, man, you started your amateur career like back in 2015 before turning pro in 2019. You're undefeated as a pro, like I said, and you finished all of your fights. Congratulations, man. Why did you decide to get into the MMA side of things?
I've always wanted to do martial arts, and I've always like wanted to do MMA. This is another thing that I said before. Like, I think it was around June in 2002 when the UFC was on Fox at one point.
Right.
And I kind of got starstruck by that because I've never seen martial art at that high intensity. So I was like, you know what? I want to do that. And I was looking around, I was trying to do my research and whatnot, and there wasn't a gym around the time, around my time, around around the area for me to go to. So I had to wait. And then plus two, I didn't have the money, and my parents didn't have the money. So I had to wait until I was 16, 17. And at that time, there was like gyms around me. And then I just said, you know what, let me go ahead and kick it off. I mean, I started when I was in high school, and then as soon as I graduated early, because we had blocks, we didn't have periods. So if you had enough high credit, school credit, that you'll be able to graduate early, and you had a good GPA, you be able to graduate early and whatnot. And that would let me that 2015 fight because I started training at 17.
Gotcha. Okay. And you've won fights all over, but the majority of your fights have come via stand-up. Is that where that's where you prefer to keep the fights at, or where do you prefer to kind of have the fights go?
Well, one thing's for sure, my coach has always told me that we're not really stand-up and we're not really ground game guy. We're mixed martial arts. Like, because in my whole entire like career, I've practiced striking, grappling, like all aspects that I can get my hands on in order to be a mixed martial artist. So if I have to stand up with somebody, say for instance, if it's a grappler, I'm gonna stand up with them. if it's a guy who's a striker, even though he might not even be a better striker than me, he might have the puncher's luck type of thing. I'm gonna go for my grappling. So if anything, I'm gonna say that I prefer anywhere. I mean, it's kind of crazy how that is, because there's so many people in my gym that ask me, do you prefer striking or grappling? I just like this, both. Like, I can't help it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What's your favorite part about being involved in MMA, man?
It's just doing martial arts. Like, I don't know, it's just a weird feel, because I've always wanted to do martial arts, but when I'm actually finally doing it and putting it into play in competitions and whatnot, it makes me feel like that. It makes me feel phenomenal. It makes me feel, like I'm chasing something, and I'm constantly always improvement and self-improvement, and that's what martial art is self-improvement. But it's just it feels great that knowing that I can be a part of a community that's constantly always building.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of leading in that direction, like, how do you train mentally for your fights?
Well, one thing that I told myself over my amateur career is, if I think too much, I'll never get nothing done. If I think too less, I'm not really focused. So I keep myself in the in-between, is keeping myself calm, cool, and collected, just to keep myself focused and to keep myself ready for anything that happens.
Yeah, man. And you fought for lots of different promotions out there, but the majority of them been with Strike Hard Productions under that banner there. What's been your experience working with those guys?
Well, I mean, it was my first ever like promotion. Ever since I was 18, and I've been with them ever since. I mean, I did other promotions and whatnot, but the closest promotion that we had was Strike Hard. Gotcha. So I mean, we were just trying to take opportunities that they gave us, and we just took each and every one of them. I mean, we couldn't go anywhere else, but the closest one was Strike Hard.
Nice. Tell me about this world-class combat training, and why did you decide to start it, man? I was checking out and subscribe to your YouTube there.
Well, one thing's for sure. One thing about like the world-class combat training, I wanted to show everybody how I got ready and how intense my workouts be, just so I can give them a good idea of like, okay, so if this is the type of workout that he's doing, maybe I can take pieces of his workout and put it into my repertoire. And, just give people a different idea of how to become like a world-class combat athlete.
Yep.
And here's the thing, even though I'm trying to get there, I'm not there yet, but I'm just slowly building. But that's the reason why I put so much, I put the world-class combat training thing together, is because I wanted to, show them this is my training regimen. Go ahead and try it out, whether it's with weights, whether without weights, go ahead and try it out.
Love it, man. So good, dude. And I know you just fought in January, but is there anything lined up? When can us fans expect to see you back in the cage?
Well, I got some huge, big news on March 12th. I can't tell you yet, but if you stay hooked on my IG page, I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay, we'll make sure that we notate that in the description, man. They need to come check you out definitely by March 12th and be following you right from the start, man. Just want to shift to some fun questions here real quick. What's the weirdest family tradition that you have?
Wow, that I'd say dancing.
Dancing, okay. Yeah, I like the dance parties.
Well, not too much of parties. It's more of like when I'm like in my rhythm and in my zone, I'll be like my mom, my grandfather, my grandmother, and I just hear a beat and I just start tapping my feet or something, or just doing something crazy. You can ask, my coaches, my teammates and whatnot. I'll be dancing everywhere. So I'd say like really when I'm in my zone, I'm really just dancing and whatnot. Nice. But it's just me playfully dancing and whatnot.
Yeah. When you're not training, you're not fighting, man, what are you doing for fun?
Well, for one thing, for fun, I just train.
Okay.
Like I do this nonstop. I mean, if anything, I play games and whatnot, video games and whatnot, and down the road, I am thinking about like streaming, but right now, just playing video games, learning different things like reading books and whatnot, just the normal stuff, and other stuff helps me self-improve as a person.
Nice.
Like the last time, the one thing that I used to do is go to the firing pin in Opelika, Alabama, and just shoot guns and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, just trying different things is my fun thing to do.
Love it. Love it, man. Always a fun question to ask for me. Like, I'm a huge music fan. Like, what's the favorite type of music for you, or favorite band that you like to listen to?
Well, the one band that I'm on right now, I'll give you two, one rapper and one band. Okay. So the one rapper that I'm on right now, he just released a song called Clouds NF. Okay. He really touches you a lot with the motivation rap and whatnot. And the one band that I'm on right now is The Score. The Score is really good. I like them. So
NF, man, is such an awesome rapper. I have all his albums on my Apple Music, man, and The Score, another great band, dude. But NF, I just found out about him this year, man. I was like, holy crap, man. I was just listening to all of his stuff, man. So I love kicking that guy up on all the time, man. So that's awesome, dude. Tre'ston, I also wanted to give you an opportunity to just give a shout out to teammates, coaches, sponsors, anything like that, man. The camera's all yours, bro.
All right. Thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to the Cage Fit family. Shane Mills, head coach, my mentor. He's been with me ever since. Juice Jones, Terrence, Juice Jones. He's one of my teammates, 125 guy. George Green, Emmanuel Harris, Jacob Tickle, all my guys from Cage Fit, everybody from Cage Fit. I love you guys. And also, I'd like to give a huge shout out. Another huge shout out, just like I did for Cage Fit, to Eric Anders for putting me on with Irridium Sports Agency. Nice. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm in right now to make opportunities, to have opportunities and whatnot. And I also like to thank my friends and my family for having my back and supporting me ever since I first started.
Tre'ston, such an honor to have you on my show, man. Thank you for taking time in your day out of training and joining me on this show, man. Such an honor, dude. Really excited to see you back in the cage. March 12th, big news coming. Excited to hear what that's going to be, man. Thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching the show today. I appreciate it. If you could, please leave a rating and review on our Apple podcast. The link is down below. That helps us get our message out, get the show out, helps us get ranked out there on the Apple podcast. Also, leave a comment below, man. I'd love to know what part of this show made the most impact on you. I respond to every comment on there. And please share this video, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please share it out. We want to make sure that we impact as many people as we can with the guests that come on my show and highlight those guests and what they've got going on, and they're changing the world. So thank you so much for the time. So appreciate it. Have an awesome day.